Welcome to another episode of Titan PI TV, where we're looking at the inside workings of a live operational investigation agency, that being here, Titan in Derby. I am your host and Managing Director of Titan Private Investigation Limited, Simon Henson. Thanks for watching. Today's short episode is going to be looking at how a private investigator can aid a family law solicitor. So we're going to look at 4 areas where we generally help. These are our most demanded areas with a family law solicitor. The first is person tracing. The second is cohabitation investigations. The third is process serving. And the fourth is breach of child contact orders. So let's look at the first initially, person traces. Person traces can be requested legally for a number of reasons. So it may be, for example, that a solicitor approaches us, a family law solicitor, and wants to find out where a person lives because they need to serve a divorce petition. It might be that someone is a debtor and we need to locate them for that reason. But for the reason of a family law solicitor, in most scenarios, it's because a couple have separated, they have no contact, and divorce proceedings are needed to continue. So we need an address to be able to serve the divorce petition. We will deliver these person traces. They take up to 24 hours. They're based on a no trace, no fee. So although you pay the fee up front, if we're not successful, we give you a refund in full, no questions asked. So it's not going to cost you unless we find them. The fee for the person tracing is £360. That's £300 plus the VAT. So the second area, cohabitation investigations. Why would somebody want cohabitation investigations? Quite simple. If a couple are getting divorced, if one of the parties is living or cohabitating with another party, that may make changes to the Form E for the divorce proceedings. Form E is all around financials. Financials will take into account money coming into a household. If somebody is cohabitating with someone, there are 2 incomes coming in, so that can potentially change the Form E and the amount of money or the percentage divvied up for any assets out of the couple's estate. So it's important as regards that. So how do we do it? We would deploy one operative at agreed times, ideally to evidence the person in question going to an address in the evening and then coming out the following morning. The reason we do that is because we want to see them go in and evidence what they're wearing, and then we want to see them come out and ideally wearing different clothing, showing they have a wardrobe at that address. We would do potentially 2.5 hours in the evening and 2.5 hours in the morning. Our deployment times are a minimum of 5, but on cohabitation investigations, we split it over the evening and the morning. So we've decided to do cohabitation investigation. We have decided on the times to commence in the evening, and we've decided on the times to commence in the morning. How much will that cost? It's 5 hours over the evening and the morning, so it's £50 plus VAT per hour. So it's £300 for the evening followed by the morning. So that gives you 1 day effectively. We would advise you do this as many times as you can, as the budget allows, over 14 days, over a 2-week period. Ideally weekdays, because we know when people, if they work, are going to be coming home from work and when they're going to be leaving in the morning. Weekends is harder. So we would advise you do it as much as you can over a 10-day basis effectively, because it's Monday to Friday for 2 weeks. So it's going to cost you £300 per evening per morning. So we'd also recommend that you don't repeat days. So if you're going to cover that 10 days, you're actually only paying for 5 deployments, because we don't want to do the Monday twice. The reason we don't want to do the Monday twice is because if we do, it might be that they stay there just on a Monday. We want to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, spread over the 10 days. This will cost you, if the budget allows, £1,500 plus the VAT, so that's £1,800. We will then provide you with a fully comprehensive report, which is backed up with images taken from the surveillance footage, and we will provide you with the surveillance footage. The reason we say as many times as possible over 2 days, because if you just do 1 day and we prove, so that's the evening followed by the morning, and we prove that that person is there, their defence quite simply can be, well, I stayed there that one night. If we do a 2-week period, random days, not repeating days, then it's more likely to, on the balance of probability, which is a family law burden of proof, we are more likely to be able to succeed and prove that they are cohabitating together. So that is cohabitation investigations. Let's look at process serving. Process serving is the legal serving of documents onto an individual. So it might be it's a divorce petition, which I've mentioned. We would, for £150 plus the VAT, that's £180, visit that address up to 3 times to try and successfully serve the respondent or the person who needs to be served the paperwork. Those 3 occasions will not always be 6 o'clock in an evening. They will be a varied time. So if we're not successful on the first occasion, then we will attend a further 2 times at different times during the day, and we serve all types of process. That is process serving. Let's look at the final area I want to cover, which is an area of demand, which is proving breach of a child contact order. Very sad, but unfortunately it's becoming more and more common. So a child contact order might be when a couple have separated and there are some concerns as to when the child goes to the other party, whether that be mum or dad, that there are bad influences, there's alcohol, what have you. So there are parameters put in place similar to bail conditions where you're only allowed to do certain things. So you might only be able to have the child when there are certain people around, which are family members. It might be that that child's not allowed to go near the new partner because there's concerns. It might be that they're not allowed to go to grandma and grandpa, should I say, because there are concerns. If it is suspected that those conditions are being breached, then that's when we would deploy 2 surveillance operatives for a minimum of 5 hours to watch, record and covertly follow the child in question. We will tell you who they are associated with. We will tell you where they go, and we will gain imagery in regards to that, which is evidential and can be submitted in a criminal or civil court. Surveillance, 2 operatives, £50 an hour plus VAT, minimum of 5 hours, so that's £600 including the VAT, and that includes the report. That is how Titan and other private investigators can help a family law solicitor. Thanks for listening. Till next time.